This video discusses for loops. For loops are considered to be counter control loops, which iterates a specific number of times. In Python, you use the for loop statement to write a count control loop. Just to give you an idea of what the flowcharts or a generic flowchart would kind of outline as, this would be a start or main. You have a loop control variable called num that we declare to be type integer. It is going to be used to control the loop. And this loop is going to display the number of times it will iterate or the program will pass through performing a task. Sometimes you'll see a diamond shape, or you may see a hexagon shaped symbol to represent a for loop. It is considered to be a control construction, very similar to the if statement, except it does repetition. So while the number goes from 1 to 5, the loop goes through and it displays the number. And as soon as the number becomes greater than 5, the actual loop will halt, or it will complete its task and the program will end. And of course, I am iterating this, or showing this rather, in using the flowcharts, but a generic flowchart such as Visio would look very similar. So you see the hexagon shaped symbol. A lot of times it's used because you can divide it up into parts. But num still gets set to 1 to 5, and we display and we end the program. If you wish to look at the pseudocode version, this is what you're going to have. For variable goes from 1 to 5, display the number for each pass through the loop and the for loop. That's what the pseudocode would look like. And now I'm going to show you what the actual Python looks like. So in the Python version, we're just demonstrating a simple for loop that uses a list of numbers. And mind you, I use the operative word list. This does actually have a specific meaning as we work through programming languages such as Python. A list is just like it says, a list of values. And so we use our print statement. The numbers 1 through 5 will be displayed. I use a print statement to repeat several dashes just to separate the items. For num n. So you see the for loop is in orange or amber. N, these are reserved words. For number n, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a list structure. We're going to print each item in the list, and I just so happen I centered it. And we end the for loop. Okay, so let's actually look at it in the Python. I just showed it to you using an editor, but let me show it to you in the actual Python. This is the program in Python, and let's run it. You can either press F5 or press the run button, and either way it's going to work. The numbers 1 through 5 will be displayed, and you see I have the dividing lines and I centered it. So you see the actual code, and then you see the results. Next, I'm going to demonstrate how a range, that is a predefined function, can be used with a for loop. So the predefined function range, and you'll see most of the times when you see a function, it's going to show up in this like a purple or pinkish color for num in range 1 through 5. So it'll go from 1 through 5, and it will display hello world, and I centered it also. Let's look at it in Python. These examples are in your textbook or on your ebook, but basically you'll see the hello world, but we're using for num in range. So this goes from 1 through 5. Let's run the program and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice 4 items shows up. We said 1 through 5. And that is because in the range, it always goes up to the ending value minus 1. If you wanted it to go further, you can add plus 1, and then it will go through 5 times. Let's look at that and see. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other than 4. So that's how that range works. You want to make sure that you understand the range function. If I were to change the range so it goes to 5, the default would be it'll start from 0 to 5, which means it'll do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the minus 1, meaning that it'll go from 0 to 5, which would give you up to 5 iterations, minus the last ending value. Okay, so let's take a look at that, and so you can see what I'm talking about here. So you see that when I look up to the end here, let me just move this down so you all can see it a little bit better. And this is the last iteration. So again, as you see, the range goes to 5, but how the computer interprets it is at 0 to 5. It will iterate from 0 to the last value minus 1. This is another example using the loops. And we're going to display a table showing numbers 1 through 10 and their squares. And we're going to even add cubes to it. So I'm going to say and their squares and cubes. So we're going to print the number of squares and the number itself, a square and cube. So we use, you notice we'll say print the numbers 1 through 10 and their squares and cube. I added that just to extend the program and enhance it. So for numbers in range going from 1 through 11, they go from 1 to 11 minus 1, which is 10. We're going to square the number, which is number squared. We'll cube the number, number times number times number. And we'll display the number, its square, and its cube, and we will center it. Okay, so let's look at that using Python. Here's what the Python code looks like. Let's run the program. And when I run the program, you see number, the square, and then the cube. You notice that everything is right aligned. It will automatically be right aligned, but if you want your values to align properly, it's always good to use the D. The D format specifier. Used in the format specifier just means it's a decimal, and I'm allocating 3 places for the number, 4 places for the square, and 6 for the cube, including a comma. So that's why you'll see that comma showing up as you see in the outline. There's the comma. And the most important concept from the for loop is that you know ahead of time what's going to happen. We could run the program to say, you know, how many numbers are you going to start with and what are you going to end with, so that it'll be more interactive. A lot of times that's what you want to do when you're writing your program. Feel free to go through these examples as often as necessary in order to understand a for loop. And you want to know the difference between the for loop, the while loop. The while loop is conditional based. The for loop is count based or count control based.